to Artie Lang News Center and our expert analysis.
Live at motherfucking 5, over now.
Bombshell tonight.
A white man driving, a stuff in his face.
Artie Lang, Don Ho.
He's gambling on human lives.
Hi everyone, I'm Colleen May. Breaking news from the Channel 8 newsroom. Eyewitness News has learned that comedian Artie Lang was found dead in his hotel room at the Hard Rock. Lang was in Las Vegas for the taping of the Howard Stern show. The hotel has confirmed his death and says that Lang's girlfriend found his body around 7 o'clock this morning. He was taken to UMC where he was pronounced dead. We are following this breaking story, and we will of course update you as new information becomes available.
Now go home and get your fucking shine box.
Look who it is, Artie Lang.
Don't make me break my foot off in your ass!
Hey, Artie Quitter Podcast. This is kind of we're getting relevant and serious. This is something that's very, very important to me, what we're going to talk about today. Joey Imperatrice is here, and Staten Island guy, a cop, a New York City cop, hopefully a future mayor. Mayor Imperatrice.
I like that. I like to ring it out.
That's going to be school kids are going to be smart trying to learn that. But I hope to be saying that one day. Because this is a good man. You know, he's cops. I mean, listen, I don't care what you think politically. You have to want police to be around. I don't care who you are. If you're in an alley and it's dark and you turn around, I don't care who you're voting for. You want to see a cop if you're in trouble. You need them. Believe me, you need them. And I was telling Joey earlier, I'm a decent person to talk about this because I'm coming from the other side. I've probably been arrested 20 times, and the cops were always right. They were never wrong. And, it's a hard job. And now there's crazy people who I don't even think know what they're even protesting about. And others who get a little crazier and are actually harming cops in an execution type style. If that is some people in the media I hate to say this, but they're encouraging it in a way. It's really, really nuts what's going on. And Joey and some friends started a group called Blue. Well, you're the sole founder.
Yeah, the founder of Blue Lives Matter.
Blue Lives Matter. Yeah, and obviously you take over Black Lives Matter, but there needed to be pushback on that. And I'm definitely I'm a Northern Jersey Italian guy, blue collar. I guess I fit the stereotype, but I'm also in show business. And a lot of people in my business, I feel, are acting very ignorant to a lot of stuff. And I think there's a big cause for me, and I'm proud to have Joey here. Welcome to the show, Joe.
Thanks, Artie. Thank you.
So okay. Obviously, it's a newer organization because of the name and stuff. What you probably were frustrated for a while. Give me the tipping point. What made you start an organization like this? Because, dude, you're to be commended. It's a lot of work and a lot of exposure, and a lot of people might not be too happy about that.
Oh, people never see behind the scenes. They
right.
just see the final product of things. They show up and they don't see how much dedication it takes. But back in 2007, I came out with a gentleman named Russell Timoshenko.
Yeah.
And in the 7-1 precinct, Russell was shot on July 9th.
If you read the New York papers, you remember that name. Absolutely.
And he passed away 5 days later. And Russell was 23 at the time. And
23 years old, man.
Yeah, and I felt that I had to do something then, but you just don't know how.
Right.
I lost a lot of sleep over that. I felt that there was a greater purpose to me, but then you come in 2014. You have
Joe, put the mic up.
2014, you have St. Louis, Missouri.
That's
Baltimore,
when it ramps up.
Yeah, New York and Staten Island, and all these protests happening, and then it culminates with 2 NYPD officers, later promoted to detective, Ramos and Lou, shot and killed in their car.
Unbelievable.
And we went to the funeral at that time, and we saw police officers from all over the world.
Yeah.
Supporting the largest police department in the world.
Right.
And after you go to the wake and the funeral, everyone goes their own separate ways. And we wondered, how do we unite these people on a regular day basis? So we decided to come out with these silicone bracelets that said Blue Lives Matter. And it wasn't meant to be a nonprofit, and we were going to give the money to the family. But we put on Facebook selling 100, and we didn't even think we were going to be able to get them out there. And within 5 minutes, we were sold out. And 2 years later, we've sold over 50,000 worldwide, not just in the United States. We became a nonprofit. We're approaching $400,000 raised.
Wow.
And we've been able to come into contact with these families that, not just yesterday with the Ramos and Lou's, but the officers from years ago that maybe felt like they were put in the back burner and forgotten. We show up and we surprise them at their house and put a smile on their face and let them know that not every telephone call or knock on your door is the worst thing, because in our profession, I get notified when you get killed.
I know.
And every time going forward, you got to think that every time you answer your phone or knock, it's going to be bad news.
Well, it's like being in the Army. It's like you guys are like those guys in San Bernardino. I point this out all the time. They became our Army. They became our front line because the war is over here, and whether you like it or not. And you're right. A knock on a door when you're guys in the Army it can mean anything.
And you want to be able to put a smile on their face and take them away from what they're dealing with. And like you said a little earlier, a lot of high-profile people, especially politicians, get in front of a podium. They say certain things and they enable people, and people listen to them. And they go out there, and before you know it, people coming. That's how Ramos and Lou happened. The gentleman from Baltimore goes and kills his girlfriend and kills 2 cops in the car. And
dangerous.
You got people rioting in St. Louis, messing up their own neighborhoods. And we got to get past this whole issue of black and white or Asian, Latino, and come together for a common solution. And Blue Lives Matter isn't there to combat anything, because people forget that officers are like the all-star team of the United States. Everyone wears that uniform. It doesn't matter what color you are. And we're there to help one another. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, and that's great, because you point out the racial thing, too. When people think about cops and robbers, well, people's minds go to race. But, the police force nowadays, especially New York or any big city, it's, every color, race, creed there is, men, women. And, it's great to see you guys all come together and to support. And the families, think about when you knock on that door. The news cycle is so crazy now that you go from tragedy to tragedy, and people get forgotten. So you guys are knocking on the door and you're not alone. We're here for you still.
Well, exactly that. So Facebook, you can go and watch us. It's Blue Lives Matter NYC. It's the Angel Wing logo. And a week before Thanksgiving, we went and we surprised 9 families killed in line duty from years ago to recently. Even Detective O'Donnell that was sliced in the face was all over the paper a couple months back.
Right. Wow, you forget about all this. That's what I mean.
And what we did is we paid for Thanksgiving dinner for them. We showed up with a $200 Visa gift card, blue and white flowers. We bring them bracelets. And all these families, they couldn't believe it, because what we did is we made the connect. They didn't know why we were coming or who was coming. But it makes them think now, every Thanksgiving going forward, they're going to remember Blue Lives Matter and Joey Imperatrice and his staff showed up and put a smile on their face. And you know what? My husband that was killed in 2002 or 2006 or 90, whatever, they're not forgotten. And it goes a long way for them. I'm still, the best part about this is the cards that I get. Commissioner Bratton, even his father passed away, I believe, last year or at the beginning of this year, and I sent the Angel Wing flowers and roses, and for him to write me a handwritten card saying how much that mattered.
That's a lot.
It goes a long way. I don't need a pat on the back. We don't take a salary from a nonprofit, even though you can, but it's the gratitude from the family. That's what matters the most.
Yeah, it's again, what you're doing is, besides your full-time job, it's a lot of time, and it's a lot, like I say, people are not a lot of people are going to love what you're doing, and for whatever reasons, for selfish reasons, you should put yourself out there. And you'd have my vote.
Well, the best thing, Artie, even like you said, how you're like the poster boy, how, you've done stuff, but you take accountability. The problem is today is, and we spoke earlier about younger people, no one takes accountability. I used to
hide behind Twitter. Twitter's a perfect microcosm of that. They say shit, and it's behind at whatever jerk-off name they come up with. And that's a perfect accountability.
When I was younger, I used to get my ass whooped if I did something wrong. And I used to sit there crying in my bedroom as my father gave me a hop in the ass. But you know what? I said, wow, I screwed up. I shouldn't have done that. Nowadays, they just do their own thing. You can't do that.
Well, I was telling Danny on the other day, there's certain rich kids that you see, nobody ever sat them down and said, you're acting like a jerk-off.
Exactly.
Paris Hilton's brother, that kid who got in trouble on the plane, so clearly nobody ever sat him down and said, you're being an idiot. Like, shut up. Accountability. And you grow up better that way.
Exactly. Another thing is, too, today is, like I said, I'd love to be mayor of New York City, but I can't get up there and tell the mayor of New York City how to do his job right now because I've never been mayor. But many people nowadays feel that they could tell police officers how to do their job, and they've had zero experience.
How annoying.
And that's the hardest part, because people who have even less experience want to go up there and say it again. And, you should stop stopping people because, that's against their rights. Well, guess what? We just got a gun off the street that could have just killed somebody. People need to understand the bigger picture. If you're going to go after somebody for a race, then that's disgusting and you shouldn't do it.
Sure.
And there's bad apples no matter where you go, whether it's cops, teachers, sanitation workers. There are. But the majority of police officers are phenomenal and they want to help. And they can't be criticized over every little thing.
Majority, I think the majority is, even as you get into more generations, people become more enlightened with race. I think majority, I mean 99% are good. But you see, here's the thing. Here's your problem, and the great thing about you is you have a real important job. So when people screw up, it's a big example. Like a teacher, there's nothing worse for society than a bad teacher. There's nothing better than a good one. And you could say that same thing of you guys.
Sure.
But people like to focus on the negative. That sells newspapers, and some people, whatever you want to call liberals, left wing, whatever the hell you call people now. They think they can make a change for their cause by focusing on a negative thing, and they don't realize what it does to you guys. And the worst thing is happening now. That trend of like some cops are, they pull back from doing their job because they're afraid of being offensive or something.
And it's dangerous.
That's dangerous for everybody there. Their partner, even the perpetrator. You could say he's not doing his job. Do you see that a lot? Do you know guys who are doing that? And
you know what? That's a big deal because nobody wants to be on the front page of the paper.
Right.
Whether you're right, wrong, you could be 100% right.
Your life gets ruined.
Yes.
Yeah.
And people don't see the other side because I'm on it. All the hate mail. They have to have cars sitting 24 hours a day to be protected.
It's a shame.
And we talked about this too, so I'm going to go into it. Let me ask you as a comedian. Did you ever have to wake up and say, wow, I might get killed today because I'm a comedian?
Me, yes. No.
Other situations.
You asked the only guy.
On average. Let's go there. On average.
If you ask Paul Reiser, he's fine. No. You know what? That's a good point. No, of course not.
Because police officers nowadays, like you said, they're getting taken out.
Yeah.
And you're really leaving your house and thinking, you know what, today might be the last day that I kiss my kids or my wife goodbye.
Yeah, think about it.
Whoever it is, I might not come home because I might really, because of the uniform, not because of who I am, I really might not go home.
Because the
and
uniform.
That's reality.
Think of the irony of that. The uniform is supposed to say, no, we're with you. We're helping you.
Sure.
Oh, man. And look, first of all, it sucks that years ago there was so much bad in certain areas. The South, and there were certain police departments that just were the Klan, But that's a long time ago, and there's still bad blood about that and mistrust, and that sucks. It sucks that, someone's family was mistreated like that, but they weren't mistreated by Joey and Patrick, or your partner. And I really think, who I think is, if this is ever going to mend, and it's going to take a while, the people who are going to do it are people like you. But the main people are going to be like the Dallas police chief, a black guy who goes into that business and says, look, we're hiring, all statements like that, who's a good communicator, and who has people like you behind him to say, look, this guy's my boss. I'm a white guy, but I listen to this guy because he's my boss.
Exactly.
And that's all that matters. And more people like you and him, and that's all it's going to do it, man.
Well, the problem is, and I forgot where I heard this, but racism will only exist as long as we allow it to.
Yeah, sure.
And the problem is people keep bringing it up when it's not even relevant, and it causes people hatred, and they don't even know why they hate.
So
well,
true.
I've come across so many different people being a police officer, which is the greatest show on earth.
Right.
And I've met some of the greatest people from all different nationalities, and I wouldn't trade it in for the world. And if you ever look around, I was in New Orleans a couple months ago, and I looked around, and you got all different people just walking down the street, different colors. We all get along.
Right.
And I don't know where these people come from that they actually believe that people really have that much hatred.
Well,
Does it exist out there? Yeah, to a small extent. But let's focus on the good things. Let's pull together and let's start going in the right direction instead of causing problems.
Right.
There's no need for that nowadays. It's 2016.
And these videotapes that come out, those are excellent points, man. And more people should be saying that out loud. But if you look at the videotapes you guys doing your job, okay, people are saying that this is a cop trying to kill a person. For the first 5 minutes of the tape, he's trying to save the guy's life.
Well,
the first 5 minutes, he's going, drop it, please. He's saying, I don't want to kill you.
Exactly.
For 5 minutes, the last minute, it's out of control, and he shoots because what the fuck do you do? And how is that trying to kill a guy?
Well, the problem is, too, is a lot of these videos that do come out, the average person only sees what
and they're
they
edited,
see.
right.
They're completely edited.
Yeah.
Listen, I can't stand there and listen. I don't know. I can't say because I wasn't exactly there, but the Eric Gardner situation was a complete tragedy at the end of the day. Nobody should lose their life. Nobody.
Of course not.
Anytime a life is lost, it is a tragedy. But what people don't know is that situation. Cops were pleading longer than you say. Please come with us. Please, let's bring it in. Please, let's do this.
He was breaking the law.
And cops only have a certain point where they can't stand there for hours pleading with somebody. People call us as a last resort and they expect us to do something.
Right.
And like I said earlier, though, any life loss is a tragedy, but police call up to make the situation better.
Right.
But then the problem is when you make it better, people hate you for making it better. So
No,
it's not.
Yeah.
And you have to give the cops a chance. You have to give them the benefit of the doubt in the sense of, well, maybe there's more to this. Because like I said in the video,
right.
just because you don't see the gun doesn't mean there wasn't one.
Way more to it.
Look at Baltimore, the prosecutor who wanted to crushed those cops.
know.
Guess what happened? Later on, it comes out that they didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah.
And those poor guys got dragged through the mud.
Yeah,
Dragged through the mud.
and a
they have
couple of black
families.
officers, too.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And I've
yeah,
actually
yeah.
met them. I
Right.
met them down at Police Week. And you feel bad because that could be me.
Right,
You know, the average person, the mailman, the sanitation worker, the person at the deli, you're not dealing with that. And this is what cops, this is what they're dealing with on an everyday basis. And I started this organization, like I said, to do something positive when something negative comes out and show that not every officer out there is bad. And that not only on duty, even off duty, you do something positive.
Right. It's you have to say that now, but it sucks that you do to even say every officer's not. I'm telling you, it's maybe God. It's so little percentage nowadays. Now look, the Eric Garner thing. I have a controversial stance on it, especially in my business. I'm Italian too, so people think I'm biased. That cop didn't get up and say, "I'm going to kill a black guy."
No, he didn't.
today.
What people don't realize too,
of course not. He was trying to. He's trying to save the guy in a way.
And they didn't target him. What people don't realize is businesses, they're not going to walk out to the bad guy and say, "Hey, I'm calling the cops." So what
Right.
do? They call the precinct and they say, "Listen, I'm paying cigarette tax legally,
Right.
and there's someone outside selling it, taking away business from me." So what do they happen? They deploy cops in those areas where crime is, and then people get arrested for doing illegal things.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
Yeah, and the guy doesn't know his medical history. The guy's diabetic, and I mean, believe me, he was probably crushed when he sees.
It's a tragedy on both ends because one family lost a husband and the other
Yeah.
one, the cop now, every day has to know that because of something he was
time.
involved in, somebody passed away.
Yeah.
So it's a lose-lose situation for both sides.
Right.
And people don't think that cops are compassionate and feel that way. But even the officers that had to shoot and kill people or injure somebody, they're not the same ever again. Every day they wake up. No matter if they end up doing it for the best reasons ever, you still have to live with that.
Right.
And it's not easy, and I don't think people realize that. And
It's hard. You take a life in any way, and but even if you're saving other lives, you're right. Well, to clarify for people who don't live in most cities, what Eric Garner was doing, he was selling what they call Lucy's. He was selling single cigarettes for because a pack is $42 now. And that's a big business. You take one out and you sell it for a couple of bucks, and it's a big profit, but you only have to spend a couple of bucks to get a smoke. And it takes away from legitimate businesses. Like these deli owners are getting screwed out of their piece of the pie, and their taxpayers. And of course, getting a guy off the street like that, it's a ripple effect. He's not just standing there being peaceful. It's a felony, I assume, right? I mean,
it depends.
sort of.
It depends where it is, but it is a crime.
He's breaking the law,
Exactly.
And he won't leave the spot. And so now you're protecting other people in the community. You got, please do this. And then a headlock, and then, he dies of something that the officer could never have known, really. And you're right, lives are ruined. And I never, look, the families of these people like Eric Garner, they just lost a loved one. Even if what they say you don't agree with, you got to give them a break the first couple of days. They are absolutely distraught.
Exactly.
It's so sad. But there's where the media comes in. They're irresponsible. They put a camera on them in that state, and they ask them questions that they know they might not answer properly or believe on both sides, and they create a war.
Exactly.
I mean, what about the media in general? I mean, without naming any names, do you have people that you see and you just cringe like this is our enemy, like in the media?
A lot of people, I guess, police-wise, there's certain people you see that you're a little bit more careful around because you don't know what their intentions
That's
are.
a great way of putting it. Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
the best way of saying it.
Yeah, no, that is.
And you take a step back and you think very thoroughly before you either act or speak something. Because even your best intentions, you don't know what theirs are.
Yeah.
And even nowadays, though, like yourself, for instance, all these celebrities that do come out and I'm not going to say take the side of the police officers, but do fundraisers or tell cops, even if it's just, we really appreciate what you're doing, like yourself, Tim Tebow going to the precinct.
Sure.
All these, it gives an uplifting to these officers because sometimes you feel like there's nobody there supporting you. And when they hear it from somebody, especially in the media, even though we're all human beings, no matter who you are, it really does go a long, long way.
Yeah, well, thanks, man.
And it's much appreciated for you and all the other people that go out there who have status in the communities and in front of a TV camera because cops just feel like they're cops sometimes. And, it really does eat them because you really want to do the right thing. And when you guys come out and you really do stand by them and appreciate it and say thank you, it goes so much further than you guys will ever know.
Well, thanks. I mean, it's the least I could do. I learned that. I got to give my old boss props. Howard was always really for the cops, man. He taught me about, especially after 9/11. We were there, and Rudy and coming in, and it's just you need cops, guys, and you should treat them with respect because really think about what they're doing every morning. It's if you really think about it and say out loud what they're doing. I like to do that with certain crimes. If you say out loud what Woody Allen did it makes it sound terrible. And if you say out loud what you guys do every morning, you go, wow, that's important, and what will we do without them? What's your long game with this organization? I mean, obviously it's going to be relevant a long time, unfortunately.
Like we spoke earlier also when we weren't talking on here, this brought me to paths I never thought, from being on Fox and Friends, Joe Piscopo, meeting the president, Nightline, all this different stuff. Meeting you. I would never met you,
It's going downhill.
It started from the top and now we're here. But you know what? Honestly, if it keeps going in the right direction, one day I would like to make a run at possibly being mayor in New York City, for the simple fact that I believe that being a police officer, there's nothing more political in the sense of being able to take a life or save a life. And if you can do that for 20 years and do it honestly, I really think, and listen to people for that whole time about what people want, the change they want, being in all the different communities and serving all the different people you come across. I think you could make a positive impact on both sides, and I would love to go that way one day. So we'll see. You never know. I've never had someone come up to me and be like, hey, I want to be mayor. It's like, what? Maybe a sports player or something. Hey,
look, New York's the city where a guy like you could get in, and you should. Well, okay, I got to ask you. You don't have to answer your opinion about our current mayor, Mr. De Blasio. Are you one of the guys that, do you know guys at least who turned their back on him that time?
Yeah, I do. But personally, I never did that. Like I said earlier,
it's a tough question.
I can't tell the mayor how to do his job.
Right.
And he does have a lot of great intentions. And I think sometimes, like you said earlier, I think the media gets a spin, and then
big time.
This poor guy then has to be on the defensive.
Right.
It's hard for everybody. And I've heard some very good stories about him that honestly, when he's not in front of this camera, he's a real gentleman.
Well, that's good.
And he's a really good human being. So,
that's good of you to say. That goes a long way.
You have to. Not everything you perceive in front of a camera is always what it is.
But coming from you, that goes a long way, because you're saying from both angles that it's not always black and white or right or wrong.
Exactly. And you know what, too? Sometimes maybe he doesn't understand the other side. Maybe if myself or someone was able to sit down, maybe we'd be able to understand each other a little bit better.
I think that's the problem. I think what you just said is the whole thing, not understanding the problem, because I think he's more of a, would consider himself an intellectual, and he has that approach towards the streets, and it just doesn't work all the time. I think he needs a lot of what you would bring to the table. I think a combination of that is perfect, because New York, the best mayors are always characters, are always New Yorkers,
exactly.
Guys who sound like street guys but have IQs of about 150, which is probably what you are. I wish you luck there, man. What do you think about Bo Dietl here? I mean, you said you don't know him,
I wish,
but he's going to make a run.
Yep, I wish him luck. And like you said, he's got a police background, so anybody that's willing to do the best job they can to do better for everyone as a whole, I'm for it.
He's into service. That's what he says, is what he always says. What's better than that? So now talk about what again, I was so flattered. I tweeted out, there was a guy about 3 months ago. Oh God, this was so terrible. It got to me. A guy named Tarantino, who got executed when he pulled a guy over in Boston, in the Boston area. And I do a lot of work in Boston. They've been good to me up there. The people of Boston, even though I'm a Yankee fan, I've made a lot of money up there. And I just said, if the Tarantino family needs any cash, let me know, because you always need money. Because I went through a tragedy with my dad around that age, and he had a son who became the man of the house at 18. He was about to join the military, and they reached out to me, the department, and I did a benefit up there, and some other comics helped me out, and we gave her a lot of money that night. And like you say, it feels great. I've done a lot of those, more on the QT, but Twitter is great. It makes stuff happen so quickly. And when I saw this, I said, listen. I said, any of these cops getting executed, any family, I'll do a show anywhere, anytime. And that's true. It's just a show. I'll give it. And then you reached out for me, and I thought it was a joke at first.
Hey, you did. I saw it. I had it forwarded to me.
Yeah. But I said, no, this looks official. And I was so happy to do that. But the main thing you reached out to me for, talk about that, March 25th, is
Correct.
What's going on.
Okay, so what we did is we didn't know how serious it was, too, because we don't know if we're actually talking to the main person on Twitter. So they reach out.
That happens on Twitter.
Maybe you should try it. I'm like, all right, let's go. So
how pathetic is a guy pretending to be me?
So what we did is we reached out, and fortunate enough, we heard from you. And like I said, I'm fortunate enough with this organization, because I would have never... People know what we do. They respect us a lot.
It's the good part about social media.
Exactly.
There's a lot of bad, but this is one of the good things.
So recently, I believe it was November 4th, we had Sergeant Paul Tuazzolo over the 4-3 precinct, shot and killed, leaving behind 2 young kids under 5 years old and a young wife.
How terrible.
And what we did is Blue Lives Matter jumps to the occasion, and March 25th, we're going to have a fundraiser. It's going to be a gala. It's going to be a suit and tie event. We're going to have yourself there. We're going to have Tommy
I'm currently sewing 2 suits together.
Tommy Lauren of The Blaze. You probably see her all
Yeah,
over on
that's
Facebook. She's
awesome.
phenomenal.
Right.
She loves anybody of service, whether it's the military or police. And we're going to have a lot of line of duty families from all throughout the years we're going to invite so that they know that they're not forgotten. And we started selling these shirts. And as of right now, in the last about 3 weeks, we've sold about 700 of them, and we have about $7,000 that we're going to give to the family at this point, which are going to continue going.
That's great.
You can get any of those shirts over at our Facebook page, not Facebook, it's going to be online. It's www.bluelivesmatternyc.org, and the proceeds, 100% of the proceeds are going to that family. It's going to be a full sit-down dinner, our cocktail, top shelf liquor, which is a big seller with a lot of people. And we're going to also be honoring a lot of nonprofit organizations, because a lot of problems, and you probably see this too, you go to these either fundraiser award ceremonies, and it's given to some person that's done nothing.
I
Because of their name.
Such a waste.
And that frustrates me. It's like, let's give it to this person because he's just his name. and it's like, well, what about the people who really do stuff? So there's several organizations. Rafael Ramos, killed in 2014. His wife started the Detective Rafael Ramos Foundation. A lot of interaction with the community that they do. We're going to be honoring them. NYPD Cares.
Good for her. As a woman strong. to do
Exactly.
that.
NYPD Cares does a lot of things with autism for cops' families. Going to be doing Brotherhood of the Fallen. They send out 2 cops, and every single funeral to cops that are killed in line of duty throughout the United States, they send there. So it's going to be great. And then
great,
Elio
man.
Only. Elio Only was started after a cop in Pennsylvania committed suicide, and they have about 30-something thousand followers for an outreach to speak to each other for help. So we're going to be honoring a lot of people who have done really, really good things that maybe haven't gotten the pat in the back or appreciation that they deserve. So I want to be a little different. It's going to be a sold-out event. We're only going to limit the ticket sales, but like I said, we're very fortunate enough that you're going to be coming out there along with the other celebrities.
Hey, look, make sure we plug that like crazy. Even when the event's done, we'll get you every day for the rest of the time the show's on. We'll plug it, man.
Thank you very, very much.
That's a big event, man. You're doing a lot of different organizations, good, and I'm proud to be there. And like I said, I'll see some other buddies of mine who got some juice on Twitter will come by, and you're a good man, Joe.
Thank you.
You're one of those guys that's good to know, and you feel like I grew up with you. And it just sucks. I hate getting to know guys like this. Be careful out there, man.
Thank you, I will.
Because it would suck to get bad news. Seriously, because I think you got a lot of good years of service afterwards. You're done with this career. So come back, and also come on anytime if you got something to plug anytime. You want to call in, consider this a home.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming in, man.
Thank you very much for the invite. Much appreciated.
Joey and Paratrice.
Thank you.
Salud, bro. We're back. Is that videotape? Are we videotaping? Great.
I was testing it.
Nice. Coming soon.
I need to get closer on your face.
What? Coming soon. A video component. A video component, just like you asked. So what is this called? The Artie Quitter Podcast. If you can see me now, you'd not want it.
And then they'll judge whether they think I dress out of style or not.
Dan, are you delusional? Do you really think you're a hip dresser?
I don't wear those sweatpants outside
What?
the house.
You
And
You're
they're
very rude.
Nikes.
They're what?
They're Nikes.
That doesn't mean shit. Retards wear Nikes. You ever see a retard with the Nikes on Port Authority there?
No.
Well, I do. I'll introduce you to the guy. He's nothing but Nike. It looks like you got the retarded Nike contract. Dan refusing to laugh.
I got something in my throat.
What's in your throat? Get it down there?
I had a cashew earlier. It's stuck in my throat.
You had a fucking cashew. You had a Cam Newton. You had a Cash Newton. Again, they had a close-up of Cam Newton wearing the fruitiest cleats I've ever seen. And, of course, he's not out of the closet or whatever, but there are rumors. In the Carolinas, it's easy to start rumors if you're wearing something like that. They do start. Hi, you look like a faggot. I'm in character. This is one of my 143 registered comedic characters with the Upright Citizen Brigade. I do 143 registered comedic characters. They're copyrighted. You can't use my characters. This is my racist Carolina Panthers fan talking about Cam Newton's cleats. Ready? This is character number 143. I just added it. Hi, you look like a faggot. End scene. Dan, yell out a number between 1 and 143.
You know what? I'm gonna go to one of your first characters. I'm gonna go 8.
8. Yogi Berra. for the number Yogi Berra. Here's Yogi Berra for the number 8. Hey, you look like a faggot. It ain't over till the faggot sings.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
It was a different time. It was a different time. End scene. Here's Yogi Berra as a rookie in 1947, reacting to seeing another rookie for the Brooklyn Dodgers in 1947. And, hey, who's the moolie? And that's character number 142. That's character number 42 for Jackie. Here's Jackie Robinson reacting to Yogi Berra's statement about him. And shut up, you dumb dago. End scene.
That's almost as bad as my black guy.
End scene. No, Jackie Robinson. He doesn't talk like a black guy. Jackie Robinson talks like a nerdy white guy. You ever hear him talk? I think that I have listen, Commissioner Kuhn. This is Jackie Robinson. Kuhn. Listen, Kuhn. Listen. Hey, Bowie. Listen, Bowie. What the fuck's your name? Jesus Christ, I got diabetes. Yeah. Listen, this is Jackie Robinson. I'm the first black guy. Yeah. It's hard on the phone to say this. I'm the first black. Believe me, I am. Talk to Mr. Ricky. Talk to Mr. Ricky about this. And Mr. Ricky said, I don't want you to fight back. The first couple years, you got to do me a favor, Jack. Don't fight back. And that's what I urinated on him.
Oh, God.
Vote Pence. This is Jackie Robinson. For the record, Howard Cosell and me were not friends. I know he says that quite a bit. He's an annoying bastard. He called me a little monkey. Yeah, Yogi Berra. Dumb motherfucker there calling me a whatever he called me. Sons of bitch. That Preacher Rowe, he was the asshole. That southern fucker. Couldn't stand him. Couldn't stand that southern fucker. This is me letting my hair down, Jackie Robinson. And by the way, in the coffin at my wake, I couldn't understand a thing Jesse Jackson was saying. That fucker, I barely knew him. This guy was around with the camera, had the right angle. You understand what I'm saying? Fucking runs over to Martin Luther King's dead body and gets a photo op. Shoves his afro in there. You never saw Jackie Robinson with an afro. I didn't burn no draft cards. I played ball. Got a hot wife. Quite frankly, Howard Cosell called the house sometimes. I thought he was trying to, well, you know, if you work a lot on the road, somebody comes a knocking. And it ain't friendly. It ain't friendly fire. It's Jackie Robinson. I did not know what the fuck Jesse Jackson was talking about. The only word I understood was Jackie. And I was dead. Goddamn diabetes. Anyway, I want to say my son had a great time on the Nick and Artie show. Producer Dan Filato seemed a little flimsy. Listen, so much going on. So much going on. Dan, of course, has some big revelations about Rick Steves, his hero. So Rick, so Dan, you admit now, after years, that if someone had the audacity to think he might be homosexual, just from listening to him, you understand that person's point of view. Is that safe to say?
Yes.
Right. So you have uncovered tapes of him with his son. He has a son,
Andy Steves.
Andy Steves.
Well, it was last week's show. It was last week's podcast.
Well, okay, of course. When you listen to the Rick Steves podcast, I'm like, when do you have time to do this? What are you doing? When do you listen to this shit? When you're at architecture school? I hope you're not taking away from your sense of community in church. So, okay. His guest is his kid?
Yeah.
Now, from your reaction, his kid sounds like a cum gobbler. What? So Dan's got that little that face. Like,
It was a two-parter this week. It was Christmas markets around the world.
We're gonna split it down the middle.
And then my son Andy Steve's on
Okay.
even more budget traveling.
Christmas markets around the world. We're gonna skip that one. We're gonna go right to Andy Steve's because I'm curious to see if, in fact, the apple doesn't fall far from the ass.
Oh God!
If the apple doesn't fall that far out of the ass. And here's Andy Steves and his father, Rick Steves.
There's a new generation of American travelers finding their favorite places to explore around the world. Like my son, Andy. He's figured out how budget-conscious college students can have fun city hopping across Europe.
One thing that's really big across Europe right now, and it's really shaken up the tourism scene, are free tip-based walking tours.
Hi, I'm Rick Steves.
Wait a minute. Was that his kid?
Yeah.
Well, so his kid's a top. He's got that deep one thing that's right. Thanks, Dad. Thank you, Dad. You're welcome, son. May I just say, this is a proud moment. I know now what Ken Griffey Sr. must have thought when he watched his son Ken Griffey Jr. hit one out of the ballpark, hit one right into the end zone. When Ken Griffey, when Kevin Griffey Sr. saw Kevin Griffey Jr. Do I have that right? When Kevin Grundy, when KG, when Senior saw Junior, when Kevin Griffey Jr. saw his son, Kevin Griffey Senior son, when they hit back-to-back home runs in the major leagues, when they both swung and hit the ball right into the touchdown enclosure. Right into some of my favorite directions. And, of course, where else? San Francisco. Or Seattle. And they've hit back. Now I know what that feels like. Because I am introducing my son on, and what is he talking about? He's going to tell about, what is it? He's talking about hiking right up an ass.
Oh, God.
Right up a canyon in Europe. And I'll tell you what, this kid is a chip off the old cock. I mean block. I'm sorry. I make that mistake quite a bit. Yes. For the record, I've never seen his privates. Not since past the age of 11. When there was a Little League incident that I swear to God was not me. That was Father O'Houlihan. Father Abernathy, who we called Abs. For other reasons. Now, yes. Thank you, Dad. My son is also doing the new Potemkin commercials. Thank you, Dad. This is Andy Steves for Potemkin. First of all, let me say thank you, Potemkin, for the new Fleetwood brew. When you're touring through Europe and your name is Steves, that means you're a royalty. So you need a royal car. You need your version of the Beast. Booty and the Beast. And that is what Fleetwood Broom is. I, of course, have the lavender metallic with pink interior. Pink leather, Cam Newton interior. And yes. And I have the little pom-poms on the back of my cleats. And I drive Fleetwood Broom right through the castles and erections of Europe. I remember driving my Fleetwood Broom right up the Vatican. Right up the Vatican's behind. When I enter the Vatican, I go from the back because I'm a celebrity. And many of the bishops, sometimes I'll beat one of the bishops if they get out of line.
Oh, God.
And they'll say, "Is that you, Rick Steves?" I say, "No, it's your son, Andy." I say, "Oh my God, you're the coming image, the spitting image. You're the swallowing image of your father." And I say, "Yes." Deeper voice, though, right? That's right. We've got to loosen up that voice a bit. Your father had a deep voice when he first came to us, and you know what? Through different, we found a way to, grease it up.
Oh, geez.
We used some ancient Christian oils. Yes, some chunky white Christian oils. Some egg drop soup oils. We lavendered up your father's vagina. I mean mouth. We called it a vagina back then because we were men and we were goofing around like Trump in the locker room. I said to your father, let me buy you some furniture. And then grease up your mouth with some oils. And now he talks, of course, like this. We'll get it. We'll get there. I don't know why I sound like both of them. Yes, Dad. Back to my Fleetwood Broom commercial. I drove right through the back of the Vatican. And we parked the Fleetwood Broom. I parked it right next to the ancient place where they buy the red shoes they get buried in. The $40 million pair of shoes they bury a pope in, which could feed Africa. And I went there with my new African assistant, Raul. You'll be meeting him, Dad. Remember I told you I met somebody? It's Raul. In some states, he's wanted in some counties in Morocco. So we got him some plastic surgery. And his name in Morocco is Hercule. If you can remember that, Dad. I mean, yes, as a matter of fact, you can ask your mother. I had quite a few of my own Raouls. I would reach out to young boys because I wanted to help them. A la Barry Sobel in Paris.
Oh, God.
They called me Sobel in Paris. I've never seen a man pick up another man quicker than Barry Sobel in Paris. You know the feeling you get when you're walking to Notre Dame and your girlfriend hates your guts? And then it pours rain and Dan's behind you and Barry's behind you. And then all of a sudden Barry was behind a boy. And of course it stayed that way. Right through Dan's room.
Oh, God.
Yes. I slept in Filato's room quite a bit with my own Raouls. Of course, nothing physical. Nothing sexual at all. I just wanted to help them through college. Get through university. The university of my ass. U of A. RSA, or Rick Steve's ass. It's fun to stay in the RSA. It's fun to stay in the RSA. You could get yourself clean. You could make a new meal. You could hang out with Barry Sobel. Young man, you can order room service on Dan-Dan's. Room in Paris, you can leave. A soiled rag and something like a prophylactic Dan-Dan. Want you to stay in his room and charge it on his room. And then he says, if your new friend wants to get some dinner at the Cocoa Place, where you get good cocoa with cocoa, you change the A to a K, you've got cock. And we're going to have fun and say, hooray for Barry and his new friend. Barry Sobel's new friend in Paris. He'll have a rear end and we're going to say, put it on Dan's motherfucking room and we're gonna charge Dan a lot of money so we can hang out. Like Rick Steve says, and then some haggle for a better room. And Artie's only gonna have to tip the doorman $5,000 because he threw his friend's clothes out on the street. Along with a bottle of Dom, he almost killed Dan because Dan was outside because Barry was in his room. So Dan was hanging outside because Bar was in his room all night. And Dan said, how do I get him out? And Artie said, don't worry, it'll be all right. I'll put it on my card. And then I never did.
Yeah.
And Dan was charged. And oh, my God. It reminded me of the time me and Nick almost didn't pay him for $3,000 worth of lunches. Because Chris Crane said Chris Long is gonna be mad when he finds out that Barry Bar charged it to his room and tried to expense a guy in Paris. That sums up the trip. Oh my God. I feel like a dip. I never got told off by a girl in church. Oh my God, Notre Dame's mass was ruined. Bye-bye. A Jersey girl mad at me for doing stupid things. I'm sorry if I bought you a $5,000 camera that you casually lost at the airport. And then I said, what are we going to do? That's $5,000 you lost. And you said, don't worry, my dad will give me another credit card. Oh my God. Your dad's credit card was gonna cuff. The camera you lost, but then I never got. That money instead I bought you a $40,000 ring and paid full price. And that was right. I think you got a kickback from the jeweler all night. I think you knew that guy at the Philadelphia jeweler. We bought that $40,000 ring from. We've been broken up for 2 years, and you've still got that fucking ring on your fingers. And oh my, I'm sure it's appropriate for your new African American boyfriend. I'm just assuming he's African American, like the rest of my ex-girlfriends. They always leave me for a point guard at Seton Hall University. And oh my God, Barry Sobel and I have never been the same since that Paris trip. And me and Dan, we almost lost our friendship. And oh my God, it was awkward. Why did we have to go on that trip to see Bruce Springsteen? Oh my God. It was so much fun, but our certain friend's breath smelled. Oh my God, we had to leave during back streets in Paris because something smelled like halitosis all over the goddamn enclosure. Hotel Lutetia. They take care of you if you're a celebrity and not a Jew. They don't like you. If you're Eric Marshall Gehring, who's second in line only to the Führer, they absolutely let those Nazis march in tutu. The Paris, please, because that fruit Hitler wanted no one to fuck with the paintings in Paris. What a doof. I tried to get into the Louvre, but I couldn't because the line was 40,000 miles long, and I said to Lutetia, can you help me out? And they said, no, we've got nothing. You're not famous enough to get you and your girl in. You're going to have to go on line with the gutter snipes and then the train to Sri Lanka. I tipped that gutter snipe door man $5,000 before I got the cocoa next to the airport that Robert Wool said was the best cocoa he'd ever had. Barry Sobel confirmed that it was the best cock he ever had in Paris, France. Oh my God. I hope he's doing okay. Of course, he came to me for money when his best friend, Tom Hanks. He had 3 best friends. There was me, of course, and his other 2 best friends were Tom Hanks, of course, and then who else? That's right, it rhymes. This guy's last name rhymes with his favorite thing in the world, Chris Rock.
Oh, God.
Chris Rock was his other best friend, and then he came to me to borrow money, you see, and I said, let me get this straight. Your 2 best friends besides me are multi-millionaire people. Yet you come to me, I got a 10 o'clock spot at the comic strip. You see, I can't fucking meet you at the hotel that you wanted to pay a week for. Oh, my God. Dan is still scraping the cum off his American Express. And he's no dum-dum. He's losing points as we speak. Oh, my God. ISIS controlled. Oh, I met an ISIS guy in the Parisian jail that nobody cared about. I have to physically be restrained from doing this. I'll do this forever. That's so much fun. Read between the lines, guys. Read between the lines.
We will never vacation with Barry Sobel again. That's what you...
We will never Nev Campbell vacation. God, you were so mad at me. Loosen up. I mean, I did. I overreacted. You know, she had a point. You lose one $5,000 camera because you had to smoke.
That was my camera she lost.
Yeah, whatever. Mine too. She lost 2 cameras. It was a 2-camera shoot. It was a 2-camera loot. But I don't care. That's a shallow thing. $5,000 doesn't mean anything to me. That's nothing to me. As long as you're okay. There could have been somebody heard it was a robbery. But of course there was, and it was an easy take. Because you were 500 feet away smoking a cigarette that you had to smoke because you were not smoking a cigarette for 4 hours. Oh, yeah. Well, there's no bitterness. Yeah. 40 grand. That could come in handy right now, couldn't it, Danny? Boy, you never know when you could use 40 G's. I forgot the camera. 45 G's. Well, I forgot the dinners for 5 years. $4 million. Well, you know, when you take somebody to a 5-star hotel in South Beach for their birthday for 5 days. Of course, they need a new dress for every night. What am I asking? Well, what etiquette school did I not go to? Sitting here doing a fucking show in my kitchen with Dan. She's on a date one of the 76ers. No, yeah, listen, by the way, I found that I'm not racist at all. Not Adrian that I'm alluding to. You know, of course, this is all kidding. I love her. I love her to death. These are all bits. But there is an ex-girlfriend of mine who I'm not positive about this. I believe has a child who's half African American. For my uncles, I'm going to say that again. Because I believe they liked her. Liked in the past tense. No, I heard that. And I no problem at all. It's fine. It's fine. And I got a call from her recently, and she wanted to rekindle. And I don't know for sure. I didn't ask her. But, you know, she called to the kid, it's a boy, you know, and, I mean, I don't know. I hate myself for thinking stereotypes, but she said, she said, wait a minute, I'll see if he'll come to the phone. Darius, put down the ball.
Oh, God.
You know, I mean, I don't know, whatever. Any kid could be named Darius. Darius, stop breakdancing with that ball. And I told her straight out. And if you think this is racist, fine. But I'm being realistic. I know how to have fun. I know how to live. I know how to have a good time. Me and Sobel. That's why me and him got along. Yeah. You got to know how to live. Other people are suckers. You got to know how to get your friend to buy you a main hotel room. You know. And I said to my ex, I said, listen, I'm not going to say which one it is. We'll say. I said, hey, Shmena. Why don't you go outside with a? Do you have a stopwatch? Yeah. Walk off 40 yards, and then get Darius to put the ball down, and go over and like get him in a 3-point stance. You know what that is? You were in it a couple times with me. Yeah. When the Marlins didn't win the World Series, and I lost $25,000, you got mad because I asked you to get some cigarettes in the Bronx. Sorry. Jesus Christ. And I just want you to put the stopwatch on, 0, and then just yell go. Or if you can get to 3, yell 3. 1, 2, 3. On 3. And tell him to run to you. And to run right through you, 40 yards. And then stop the watch. And then you might not know why I'm doing this. You don't need to know. Just tell me the number. Tell me what number the stopwatch says. And you'll either see me the next day or not. And I don't want to be rude.
Oh, God.
I don't want to be rude. But listen, if the don't look into this at all. If the number is 4.2 seconds or less, you'll see me tomorrow. And I'm going to buy dinner for all of us. I might be with a Jewish agent. I might be with my friend Mr. Boris. And tell the kid to put on sweatpants because we're going to do a couple of drills. That's right, I'm buying him dinner too. Man, think of LeBron James' mom. What luck. You might have hit the jackpot. What if it's LeBron's father spreading the seed more? What if it's LeBron's kid?
Hey, the Bulls could use him.
Well, that aside, Dan, we could use him. The team line could use him. What if, like, LeBron James' dad is like a superhero who just keeps... You know what I mean? What if he's like a bunch of athletes' father? You know? What if he's Dwayne Wade's dad, too? And he just, it's like, I love that idea of like an inner city superhero where he he doesn't come back into the girls' lives because he doesn't remember fucking them. He's in a blackout. And the woman is in a blackout too because they're both terrible drug addicts, alcoholics. And the girl looks like Don Cheadle. How great would that be? I think that's a great movie. Of course, Kevin Hart will play the lead. We need him to be taller somehow. Well, we'll figure that out. We'll fix that in post. But he's just the hottest ticket right now. Yeah, what could we cut?
The dad goes around to every city that needs either a football player, a basketball player, or a baseball player.
I like it.
And even, there are a couple.
But see, then he knows, though. Like the character is a ne'er-do-well. Doesn't know. He stumbles. Somehow Scott Boras knows. The evil agent somehow knows that this guy is LeBron's dad. Like he figures it out. And he sets him up with like Jimmy the Greek. Wait, shut up. Here's what happens. Here's the thing. We get LeBron James' dad. We find this Jimmy the Greek. Yeah, here's the thing. Is the microphone on? Yeah. Is it working? Good. I'll have a couple of pops. Listen, I've got a big career, mainstream show, but I want to say this loudly. All right. In the old days, the black buck, say LeBron James' dad was a big black buck. I'm sure he's a black buck. And it would mate with the other black buck, and that would be LeBron James' mother in this situation. They made them together, and I must say they get a big, they get a star. They get LeBron James. They get King James or whatever. And that's it. That's what happens. And if you have mating processes like that, you get an extra bone in your ankle. And of course, I think they have that. Now, this is the thing. Here's the pitch for the movie. You get Scott Boras, who's a filthy, pushy Jewish guy. This Jimmy the Greek. Is the microphone on? Yeah, I don't want to get fired or anything. Yeah, you get a pushy Jewish guy and a big black buck. And can I get another scotch? Yeah. I just want to drink some more scotch before I give my opinion on camera. Yeah, all right. Okay. Now, what did I say? Filthy Jew and what? No, I'm kidding. The liquor's talking now. Forget about it. So the Jewish guy has an extra bone in his brain. And that's why he's good. He's smarter than us. And what the Jew will take our money and use it to make the athlete better. He'll develop the athlete with our money. Somehow he funnels our money, taxpayers' money, into his coffers. Is the microphone on? It's Jimmy the Greek. Yeah, I just want to get another shot. I just want to do a shot of a flaming shot of Zambuca. I don't want to say anything offensive. All right. He gets the money, and he used that money a la Customato with Mike Tyson. And the way Cuss did it was he had an interesting training process. He would get in the shower with Mike and fuck him in the ass. God. He would really let Tyson have it. He'd go, ugh. This fucking wop. I mean, this wop had a whopper on him. Hung like a fucking, he had a piece of driftwood between his fucking legs. Sicilian bastard. This slimy, slithery greaseball. I'm sorry, this is Jimmy the Greek. Now, Cuss, this greaseball, would have sex with the other African, Mike Tyson, in his asshole. And that prepared him for Trevor Burbick, who was another big black buck. Now, you understand where I'm going with this? I'm going to get another drink. No, but that's the super. So Jimmy the Greek is in it as that character, playing himself. He's going to steal the movie, quite frankly. Scott Boras, the evil Jewish agent. The pushy, evil Jewish agent. The pushy... No, of course.
Who has the leading role? Does Jimmy the Greek, is he supporting actor or leading actor?
No, Jimmy the Greek can't be. No, we're lucky we get him on set. We have to do all of his stuff in post in one day. No, the lead is going to be Boris because he's the guy. He's evil, evil Jewish agent. But he figures out that the guy that somehow he finds out that is LeBron's dad, and then he follows him around. He finds out he fucks a lot of broads, and in a blackout, and he finds he doesn't always like, and they're not always great players. Like it depends on the woman, and quite frankly, some environment. Like whether you like smoking crack or not. Clearly, LeBron James is not a drug addict. That's a big thing. He's a good, strong-willed person. A lot of people like myself are not. So I wouldn't. If LeBron's dad fucked my mother, I still would be me. Oh. Probably worse off. Me with a big fro. God. I look like with Oscar Gamble's hair. the word gamble would be very appropriate. So yeah, here's the thing. Yeah, so he finds that out then, and he finds out, like, one of his kids is Rory Sparrow. Like, that'd be,
That's a huge drop.
Derek Rose.
Okay.
There's the environmental stuff, because Derek has a bad attitude. Here's the thing. Derek Rose has an extra bone in his attitude. And, yeah. And that's how he finds out, and then he keeps letting him fuck it. He invests in the kid early. It's a scam because he knows the father is LeBron's dad. And he keeps going to LeBron's dad's like 94 years old. He goes, I can't do it. I can't do it no more. Yes, evil Boris is like, you certainly can. Have another Cavassier. Have another Ritlin. You colored bastard.
He's sending him out to stud.
I've made $2 trillion from you. I've wrung everything I can out of you. Here's $1,000 in a certified check. It's my way from the Boris family. It's the Boris Corporation way of saying thank you.
Happy holiday.
It's the Happy Ramadan. Happy Kwanzaa and Ramadan. Yeah, the big black buck gets $1,000. And by the way, don't think I didn't forget Mrs. James. On top of whatever she's getting off of her brother and her husband and whatever the kid's son is. Tell her she can add another double sawbuck on mine. That's right. I'm giving her a new crisp $20 bill. Straight from the Boris Corporation coffers. All this started with Rick Steves' son. Okay, let's hear more. So he's got the deep voice. This is Rick Steves' son. What's his name?
Andy
Steves.
With his tips to help young adults enjoy the cities of Europe. And even the trendiest Germans look for traditional outdoor Christmas markets each December to get into the spirit of the holidays.
Imagine you can do your Christmas shopping without the stress because you get hot, spicy wine. Next to your neighbors who are just doing the same thing, you have a little chat.
It's all just ahead of
Wait a minute. Stop.
I had to leave that in.
That is not.
That's the promo for the Crystal Mark.
He's goofing on it. Is he not goofing on? That's his voice?
No. That's another guy.
Who is that?
Okay, that was the guy who this show was 2 parts. It was Christmas markets around the world and Andy Steves.
It was private parts.
But I had to leave that promo in because I like.
I tell you. That's the Fleetwood Bro. Hey, what's that guy's name? Funniest guy ever?
He's from Berlin.
From Berlin. Even the trendiest Germans like to go to the beer garden to tap. What do they tap into? Rick, when you go to when a trendy German takes you to a beer garden by yourself because the wife is a little tired, and your boy's home lathering up the boys.
Oh, jeez.
What are the trendy Germans? Rick, what do they take when they take you to a beer garden? What do they tap? Well, I'm glad you asked me that question because it's both metaphorically, figuratively, and literally. They tap, first of all, into a fine keg of beer. And in that keg of beer lies hopes and dreams and my theses. And then they tap into something that's actually beer. But then they tap into something most important. They tap into my emotional being. They tap into that thing in me, that personality in me that comes out and says, hello, friend, yeah. They tap into that thing that makes me say, yeah, let's put on some shorts and exercise. Let's deal out some food cards.
It's the foam on the beer.
Yeah, the foam on the beer. By the way, I wrote a op-ed piece in the Berliner Times called "Foam on the Beer," and I crossed out the B, and guess what I put? What's the first 2 letters in question? Right. I changed the front of beer to the first 2 letters in question. The foam on the queer.
Oh,
I'll hit you right over the head with that joke. There's no... But listen, actually, this is it. Jake Tapper was at the tapping. CNN covered it. And I think they were very on top of this. Because I'll tell you this. Tucker Frederickson. What's the name of the guy who owns it? Tucker Frederickson. Who owns CNN?
Jeff Zucker?
No, Jeff Zucker.
You mean runs it or
Ted Turner?
Ted Turner.
Jeff Zucker. Yes, the Jews run everything. Ted Turner's in the Klan, for Christ's sake. Yes. I said to him, Ted, I want you to send someone over here to cover the tapping of the beer and Rick Steves' ass. And that emotional being that says he's Rick Steves. Who are you going to send for that tapping? Jake Tapper. Jake Tapper, whose evil friends, who he thought were his friends in college, made him the man he is today. Well, this had a silver lining. Jake Tapper, they made his middle name officially Male Ass.
Oh, God.
And that's when he was sent to me. Son, where are you? I'm with that German guy, Dad. Where? We're in the corner of the beer garden, but we're behind that curtain. Behind that curtain? Yeah. What are you, the Wizard of Oz? Good one, Dad. What are you doing with that German guy? We are we are tapping into the person. What are you doing? We are tapping into the baby Steves. What are you doing? What are you doing, Gunther? How you know name Gunther? I looked it up. A good traveler always knows the names and aliases of the people traveling with him. So I know your name is Gunther Kamelat. Gunther Kamelat from the Berlin Kamelat.
I'm going to be on the Rick Steves no tour list.
That is East Berlin. And Flotto, shut up, you fruitcake. You're already on your list. And it ain't Schindler's. You're on your no tour list. You're on your Steve's no tour list. That comes from men, naughty men, who talk a little bit too much. That comes, you know how you get on your no tour list? With the Rick Steves? Is if you know the secrets. Is if you know the chamber of secrets that makes Rick Steves and his son the people they are today. And you say them on your podcast. You take those and you shit all over them. You take our finest thing that we have sticking us together. Not glue. Something else, another sticky substance that sticks the Steves people together. We are Steves stick together people. And you took that substance and you spat it in our face. Instead of swallowing it, you spat it all over the podcast. And now people know more about your Rick Steves than we want them to. So we don't know how long this will be, but for a while, Mr. Big Shot, you're on your no tour list. You and all your women friends are not allowed to move around Europe like some sort of ISIS terrorist. We are going to make you ISIS status. Just try to find some heavy metal of the universe band. One of those fruitcakes were who got shot. The heavy metal of the power metal fruitcakes. Just try to see them with your U2 people. That Bono. Fuck him. I hate that Bono. Mr. Liberal, shut up. You move in mysterious ways. That's for sure. Shut up, Clink. So that's why, Big Shot, you're on Angie list, Schindler's list, and your Steve's no toad list. And guess what else? I heard you forced yourself onto Joe's list. But he don't play that way, does he? You forced yourself onto Joe's list. And he said in his brilliant comedic mind, he said something smarter than this comedy, I'm sure. His comedy is very smarter than this. This comedy is silly. It makes us realize why Artie Lang is a ne'er-do-well dopey dope. He can't do the smart comedy. He's no Seth Meyers. Making ridiculous jokes like Jake Male-Ass Tapper. Who laughs at that? Idiots! Idiots! Who is going to make the observation? It's such an easy observation. Retards can make this observation. The observation goes, okay, you're on the Schindler list. You're on your no tour list. You're on your Angie's list. But I heard you can't get onto Joe's list. Really good, you stupito. You're a dummy. You don't know anything about art. Like Führer Hitler did. If your art were a painting, it would not be in the Hitler Museum. Because it would be stick figures. Your jokes in the form of art are stick figures. Stupido. I don't know why I made that Italian. Stupid. I don't want to stoop you. That's how stupid you are. I know who would stoop you is Rex Marshall Ginning. Rex Marshall Ginning is a big Barry Sobel fan. For some reason. He has the powder blue suit and all of Barry Sobel's Tonight Show appearances. And Rex Marshall Ginning, every once in a while, will give Artie Lang a break and pay for a week at the Paramount Hotel. If Chris Rock and Tom Hanks doesn't want to do it, perhaps Mary Steenburgen would. Perhaps Mary Steenburgen would. Or Rita Wilson. I always get them confused. Have you ever seen Rita Wilson and Mary Steenburgen in the same room? I haven't. Shaving Private Ryan. Yeah, you could ask the Shaving Private Ryan guy for money, or the second lead of Dirty Vic. Good fun. Yeah. You know two movie stars. The guy who was your fourth lead in Lost and Found was David Spade. I'll say it again, David Spade. Yeah. The fourth lead who wore a wig. Quite frankly, made more money betting on New York Giants that summer. This is a preseason. Or the guy from Shaving Private Ryan. You know the start of Castaway. You know the start of Castaway. Or Chris O'Donnell's best friend from The Bachelor. Who do you ask? Chris O'Donnell's best friend from The Bachelor. To pay for a whole week. Farid Saruka. What an idiot you are. But you did Mr. Lang a favor, and you did whatever dirty deed you wanted to do in the room of Dan Swalato.
Thank you.
In his rectum enclosure. And Dan was very upset because he wanted to be invited to that party.
No, he was not.
Yes, he did.
No, he did not.
He walked in and he said, I smell ass fun.
Oh, God.
I smell the best kind of fun there is, according to your Rick Steves pamphlet. And I said, I can't read your pamphlet because that's one of the rules about being on your tour list. I can't even read your pamphlet. They said, listen, here are your rules. Mr. Falato, we regret to inform you that after years and years of sweating in the same room as Rick and having to run out and ignore your wife and pretend you didn't know he was maybe a homo boy, you are now on your no tour list because of your comments on the Artie Farty podcast. Your stupid comments and your stupid jokes. Joe list. Shut up. You make your stupid puns. That's a sign of an idiot. So here are your stipulations. You may not ever use your facilities at any kiosk that says our name on it. If it says all around Europe, I don't care if you're in a gutter-sniped western town, you are not allowed to use your facilities at any kiosk that says Rick Steves kiosk. Also, if you are in any city with Barry Sobel, you must give up your room to him for at least 3 hours a day. And whatever Barry does in that room for those 3 hours, you are accountable for it.
Oh, God.
Guess again. Welcome to Gay Paris. The third rule for being on your no-tour list. You can never leave Secaucus, New Jersey. You must get an apartment in Secaucus. I'll say it again. Secaucus. You're going to have a disgusting night. My 600-pound life is on. We're going to watch Penny and her husband, Edgar. Holy shit, what a miserable bastard. In this scene, Edgar pulls something out of Penny's ass. It turns out to be her vagina. He pulls her vagina out of her ass. She's picking at it. She lifts up her enormous belly flap as he's changing her bedpan and frying up Jamonting's tater tots. He's frying up Jamonting's tater tots, which he keeps with a Tabasco sauce. and removes her bedpan, and then she picks out the pussy and says, it's sore right there.
Oh, God.
It's sore right there, which means he applies your cream. He applies your cream right where it's sore. Fixes your tater tots. Gives the tater tots with the tartar sauce. Goes into the other room. Thinks he's free for a little while to have some peace. And she yells out in that bellowing fat voice, I'm gonna need paper towels. Coming up. You must watch that with Archie Lang. Those are the stipulations. And you must watch every episode of The Divorce. The Sarah Jessica Parker. Sarah Jessica Parker. Have you seen her lately? More like Sarah Jessica Barker. Eat the spider. Eat the barking spider. And with that, I say thank you to Joey Imperatrice.
We didn't get into 1 minute of Rick Steves.
I know, dude. I gotta do another show later. Dude, that's gold. That's evergreen. First of all, I got as far as I think I can go. That guy's voices. It launched all this shit. Dude, what are we doing? 2 hours? We'll calm down. I got enough. We're doing another show tonight. A bunch of people coming in. I have the audacity to make Bob Levy about $80,000 this month, and he's mad. I won't let a guy who owns 4 businesses here. I mean, some people, the favors, they can't stop asking them. They have favors, like, it's an avalanche of favors. They can't stop asking favors. They can't help themselves. Levy has that disease. Listen, I gotta get some money. You got me some money. Thanks so much. I can't thank you enough. Can I borrow this money? I can borrow anything. Yeah, can you buy? I need my kidney shoes. Can I buy my kid open for us? My kid open. Can I sell t-shirts? Yeah. Can you buy? 15 years of that. 15 years of it. If it's not a contract, I'll be able to get a new jacket for my kid. It just says, hey, can you appear here? Can you say, can you call into the show? Try to call into the show. Can I call into your show? Can you retweet something? Can you retweet my kids? Can you retweet this? Say my kid's better than John Entwistle on the bass. Can you retweet that? Just read. I'll send it. I know it's misspelled. Could you spell check it? Get there and spell check it. Listen, just you get there. It's Bob. Get there and spell check it. I'm dyeing my hair. Listen. Can you buy me the new hair dye that is better? There's no iodine in it because the new stuff poisons my scalp. Can you do that? And it makes my teeth whiter. Yeah. I don't want jet black hair and chiclet white teeth. I don't want it. It's odd looking. I just made it whatever. Can you do that, please? Can you do that, please? Can you do that? Can you do it? 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 Can you give me? 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 I need. I need money, showtime, calling, shoes, son, retweet. Can you retweet? 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 Can you reach? Can you retweet? Can you retweet? Can I get some advice? Can you loan me 10 grand? Can you loan me 10 grand? I'll pay you back in gigs. I'll pay you back in gigs. Can you buy me a little jacket? Can you buy me a little jacket? I'll drive. Scranton. Vets, help the vets. I'm only gonna take my expenses. I don't know where that Corvette came from. I don't know. My kid my kid's feet smell. I don't want anything. I don't know what I'm saying. Can I borrow John Baldastri? John Baldastri, I know he's your contact. Can I use that contact? Can I use it? I want. Can you? Can I ask? There's nothing I wouldn't do for you. But in the meantime, can you do for me? Can you do for my son? Can you do for my wife, my ex-wife, my girlfriend, the girl you never met, the girl I'm casually dating? Can you do something? There's a guy I know who owns 4 businesses. I own 10 grand to. I owe a guy 10 grand who owns 4 businesses. I promise him he can come. I promise him he can come up. I'll say, okay, I'll get Artie. I'll call Artie. Artie needs Artie. You want Artie to do? Yeah, Artie. I'll call him. He'll help us out. He's Artie. I use him for everything. Oh yeah, I told him you have 4 businesses, but he didn't get through, and I was being an asshole. I hate his guts. He never helps me. Tell Artie I'm booking a lot of gigs for him. Tell Artie I'm mad that he couldn't get this guy who owns 4 businesses in because he never does me any favors.
Skin grafts. You're missing skin grafts.
Yeah, skin grafts. We can get skin grafts and everything you need, everything you need, everything you need. My kid's in a band. My kid's in a band. Can you announce my kid's in a band? Can you announce me? Can you edit the tape to where you don't mention the one kid in the band anymore because we don't like the kid? Could you mention the band? We changed the name of the band because the kid. Listen, here's what happened. The kid who named the band we don't like anymore. So can you edit out the name of the band? We're going to change the name of the band, but it's going to be the best name ever. The name of the band is going to be the best name of a band ever. My kid can play like John Entwistle. Jack Bruce. Can I sleep? Can I do? Can I take? Can I wring everything out of you? Can I take everything until you're nothing? Can I wrinkle you up like my fucking face till you have nothing? Sure, Bob. See you later.
You people can't understand how true that is. You're right.
Tomorrow's show will end with a similar bit about Joe Matarese.